What can you say about the accessibility of sets you have been on?
So my own set's very accessible because I do that by design. A story I love to tell is in the making of Elsa, the film, uh, which is a Telly Award-winning PBS American Masters doc short. Did I mention that? We actually did a pre-Zoom interview with Elsa, and she told me in that interview that as a deafblind person, deafblindness is an intersection of deafness and blindness. And so it's literally can be expressed in a myriad of different ways, infinite, one might even say. And Elsa told me that in the way her deafblindness manifests in a dark room is kind of like her eyes can become a broken camera aperture. If she goes from a very dark room to a very light room. So there's a major scene in Elsa where she's fencing, and we want it to be beautifully lit. We want, her to be presented almost like a Marvel character, like one of the characters like Peggy Carter that she writes for Marvel, or one of the characters in Assassin's Creed that she writes for. And so we uplit the walls in this beautiful red uplighting. And I have my gaffer, Mike Walker, also to thank for the implementation of this design. But it basically allowed us to have this hero lighting on Elsa, this beautiful white diffused lighting that falls off of her into darkness, and still have this red striking uplighting on the walls that enabled Elsa to see. So she was able to walk around in this space, a very dark feeling space, but a very dramatically lit space, and still be able to see. And I think that's just one example of the many, many ways that we can think about incorporating disability into production from pre to post production, because it's really not just a day of, oh shit, we have a disabled person in a wheelchair that shows up to set. What do we do? And more so including disabled people in the creative and decision-making process from day zero, so that we're able to adjust things. And that's obviously not as much my experience on, union sets, major Hollywood productions. Oftentimes they're in the most inaccessible locations one can imagine, with it not even accessible bathrooms, and they might be on the 10th floor of a 10-story walk-up in New York City. A lot of my work's on the East Coast. We work, merciless hours, 16 plus hour days. And so for somebody with sleep apnea, you might be able to imagine how difficult it might be to pull off those days. And also, if you're telling me to get behind the wheel of a vehicle after that 16-hour day, that's a whole nother risk that I'm taking with my life, just so we don't spend a couple extra dollars on a turnaround, having appropriate, 12 on, 12 off, or as they say. Really, I think it should be 10 on, 14 off. So we actually in the film industry get time to spend with our families. But yeah, that's just kind of a glimpse into some of the many ways that can express itself.
For more information, visit theavaproject.org.